afternoon, everyone. I'm Ria May Borromeo, and I will be talking about a quick guide to Google Classroom. Here in UPOU, we have been holding our classes completely online. We are using the platform Moodle, but for this tutorial, I will introduce you, if you have not yet tried, Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a learning management system by Google, and it's available to anyone who has a Google account. Before, it used to be available only to those who are subscribed to Google Education. But now, even if you just have a normal Gmail account, you can set up your own classroom. You can try it out right now. Just go to the URL classroom.google.com, and you can also download it in your phones and tablets. So I will talk about the following. A quick guide on how to get started with Google Classroom, creating assignments and materials, creating quizzes using Google Forms, and grading and leaving feedback. So I will do a live demonstration using Google Classroom. So this is a sample class, and there are this is what the Google Classroom is like. There is a stream, just like in Facebook, wherein activities and posts are written. So, for example, there is a message, and anyone can just comment. So this it's very simple replying to posts like that, and you can view the activities there. Um, Now I would like to set up a new Google Classroom so we can try how to create a new one. So it's very simple. In your Google Classroom homepage, you just click this button and create a class. So there is this notice, and mostly a privacy and security notice. Now I'm going to create a class for my IS second semester, and so it's now creating the class, and it's as simple as that. You now have a classroom. You can customize it by selecting themes. Since this is a technical class, I'll choose this theme. And you can already start posting for your class to view. Welcome to IS. Something like that. So now, when students come in, they will see this post and they can interact among each other here by commenting on the post. Now, let us set up the classroom further. This settings is very important because you can customize your classroom to do what you want. For example, in the stream, you can customize whether you want the students can only comment or teachers can only comment. So there are settings here that you can play around with, and you can modify them so that it can do what you want. And this is a new feature that I just discovered recently, the grade calculation. You can actually now, it's now very easy to calculate the grades. 2 years ago when I tried this feature was not there yet. So I had to do Excel. I still had to import the grades to Google Sheets and calculate it there. But here now you can add grade category. For example, I want like quizzes to be 100 points, and wait, sorry. So this is like my grading scheme for the class. So if quizzes are like 50% and assignments are also 50%. Then later on, the activities will be calculated. The final grade will be calculated according to these categories, and we can show the overall grade to students, and then we can save it. Next, let's start adding activities. To add activities, we go to classwork, and then we create the activities by just clicking create. You can see it's very simple. The first thing I normally do is create topics because topics organize your class. So for this class, I will create several topics. For example, initial proposal and another implementation. So the topics are, you can see the topics on the left, and these are the major topics in my course. Then I would start to add the activities I want for each topic. I can add first, a question. Uh, what, and then I can select the category. So this is an assignment, so that in later on in the grading, it can calculate automatically. It's for all students. The due date, you can set the due date on Monday, and you can set the time at 11:59 p.m. or whatever time you want. Okay. The topic will be under initial proposal, so it will be organized. And no, I don't want students to reply to each other. So with that, I can just ask this question, and it will be here. And it will also be seen in my stream, in the stream of the classroom. What type of project are you interested in doing? So the students will see that later on when I add them. But let's do that later. Next, I will create an assignment. Again, it's for all students. I am giving it 100 points, and it's another assignment. The due date should be Wednesday. Okay. The topic will be for the implementation. Uh, so I'm just asking them to upload the source code of their project here. I can also choose to add links for more information about these assignments, and also files in Google Drive if you want to attach, or other files in your desktop you can upload, and video links. And you can also add a a document or any Google document here. For example, I will add this Google Google Doc because I want my students to put in their answers here. So make a copy for each student. Each student will then have a copy of this, and they can answer here, and I will be able to check it later. I guess it's not appropriate because you don't really put your source code in the Google Docs, so I will delete this for now. But I'm just saying that that's an option. Okay. And then here's a more exciting thing, or more complicated. It's creating a quiz. So in Google Classroom, the quiz is implemented through Google Forms. So let's write quiz number 1. And you have to edit the Google Forms. We are used to using Google Forms probably in surveys, but not really as quizzes. But we can actually do that. So, sorry if that was fast, but when you create the assignment, there will be the quiz. There will be a link to a Google form, and then you just click it, and then it will lead you to the Google form that you have to customize. Again, you have to check the settings here and select the options that you prefer. But I would like to set options here. So you can see here, there's the option to immediately release the grade after each submission, or you can just set later after manual review. And if you want the respondents to see missed questions, correct answers, and point values, you can also see that. You can also choose that, and then we save that. Then now we can start here. Sorry. Here, you are requiring the students to input their email addresses. So maybe you want to do this to identify your students. So I will keep that there. Now for the questions, there are many types of questions that you can use: short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkbox, drop down, and even file upload, and all these. So for the multiple choice questions that we have in our exam, we are covered already: the essay, the identification, and the choose many, multiple choice for the checkboxes. Let's start with the multiple choice. 1 plus 1. Okay, so the options are 0, 1 plus 1, 1, or 2. Okay, so what's the answer? And we can add the answer key here, and I will set it at 2. This is very confusing if you're like studying computer science, but suppose this is math, like math algebra, then 1 plus 1 should be 2. Okay, so we set the points, 1, and then that's there. We have that first question in our quiz. You can make it required, and then we add another question. So how about a short answer? Short answer. What when when is the date? Okay. When was the Philippines discovered? Okay. So actually you can set that as a date. For this type of question, the you have to manually check it. They Unlike the multiple choice wherein you can set the answer key. Here you can just add the feedback, but you still have to manually check the the answer of the student. So the answer is, I will just add this as a feedback. Is this correct? Okay. Okay, at least I still remember. Okay. So let's give that 2 points because it's harder. Maybe. Anyway, that's just the idea of making quizzes. And you can also make this a required question or maybe not, because students have the option to skip questions, right? Let's try another one, an essay exam paragraph. And then just ask, what can you say about Google? Again, this has to be manually checked. So just add some manual feedback and then 5 points. And then that's it. You have a quiz. Let's change this. Sample quiz. Later on, we'll try this out as students. We'll see this from the student's perspective. I'm just setting it up from the perspective of the teacher. But then later, we'll try it out. And when you preview it, so it will be like this. Okay, so let's go back to our Google Classroom. And we want now the blank quiz, this thing that we made, it's still blank quiz. Um, we will, it's like making an assignment and having the link to the Google form as an attachment to the assignment. So it's gonna be like this. Let's also set a due date and then assign it. Uh, and let's add a category quiz and assign. Okay. So now uh, let's just add one more assignment for the final proposal. I just assignment. Oops. And what's good about Google Classroom is that it saves your drafts. So when you're working on something and then you got interrupted, it will automatically save drafts. And so I was not able to save it, but I can come back to it and continue working on it. Now it's again an assignment, 100 points for all students. Just set the dates and the topic will be final. And I will add a Google Docs file for every student. But why is it not working? Sign. Okay. Okay. Now let's edit it because okay, now it's working. So sometimes it doesn't work, just try again. Because yeah, it's sometimes it's just because of some network interruptions. So you can always just try again. So I want students to edit this. Okay. Now in the stream, everything is everything that we created, all the activities that we posted are there. Have I forgotten? Oh, also, you can add materials here, and these could be slides, um, YouTube attachments, YouTube videos for your tutorials, um, ebooks. So you can also post them in your Google Classroom and share it with your students. Now that the classroom is set up, this is after setting up the classroom, then we can invite the students. Usually you set it up first before inviting people so that they don't see what you're working on yet. Now I can invite students or just I can email them by typing the email addresses, or I can just ask them to go to Google Classroom and enter this class code. Now, here's a very important thing to note. If you are using up.edu.ph, you can only invite students who have the same email address, I mean domain. So up.edu.ph classrooms should have students that have up.edu.ph email addresses. And it's the same for all Google Education apps domains. But if you have Gmail, then that's more flexible because you can invite anyone who's from Gmail. So if anyone who's watching here is has their Gmail account, you can just go to Google Classroom and join the class with this code. You can try to join this class if you're interested in joining it. So it's YNO30TP. Go to classroom.google.com and then join the class if you want to join this class. Let's see if people will join this class. Okay, no one's joining my class. I will just join my class. Oh, someone joined. Thank you. Now you can try, please try out the activities and post there somehow. I will join. Oops. This is an account, a student account. Now I'm a student. I will join a class by doing this. So I just click the this button and then join a class. And I enter the code. And now I am part of the class IS295A. I see that these are the deadlines for me, the due dates, and all the assignments in here. Hello. I can reply to yes to myself. This is a test account. And my fake name is Myla. And I will try to answer. Oh, nice. So to So, Joanne, thank you for answering this. To answer an assignment in Google Classroom, what you have to do is actually comments are okay, but the way to submit assignments is typing your answer here. And let's say I want to do research as well, and then you click turn it in. Because if you don't turn it in, the teacher will not see that you have submitted the assignment. It's different from just a class comment. The class comment is available for everyone in the class to see. But your assignment is the one that you turned in will be for your teacher. And also you can post private comments. What kind? Yeah, there. So that's a private comment. And I can also do um, this add or create. So here's another assignment. I can add or create my work here, but I'm not yet going to do this. Maybe let's just answer the quiz. And I will answer the quiz as a student. So, so this is the quiz that we created earlier. The answer is 2 um, March 16. And it's very easy to use. So, okay. So after submitting that, um, yours you see that you have already submitted in the quiz as a student. And then lastly, oops, sorry. I want to oh no. Oh wow. Wow, there are so many students now. I was so surprised. Okay, 33 students. Um wait. I'm gonna I want to be a student again and then I will answer one of this. Oh, you love Google Classroom. That's great. Please use it. I hope it can be helpful. Anyway, I will do an assignment, my final paper, and edit the Google document that was the teacher gave me. So this is my assignment. Yeah. Okay. And then I mark as done. So you also have to note that you have to mark as done your assignments or submit. Okay. And then next, um, let's go back. So you see that there are already interactions in our Google Classroom. Hello. Hello to everyone who are now students here. Feel free to try them out. Um, if you would notice earlier, there were in this part, in the upcoming, there were many many things listed, but because I have already submitted them, the ones that I had to do, only one is there. So this is the only one that I haven't finished yet. So I have it's like reminding me that I have to do this. But the rest, if once you submit this, this will also be gone. So let's try that. Upload your source code. I just mark it as done, but I won't upload anything. And then I go back. So, hoo, no work due soon. Because I did everything. Okay? So, as a student, that's generally what we can see. Now, let's go back to being a teacher. There. So, I want to see the work that my students have done so I can check them. Uh, Here, one student turned in the final proposal, and I will just click it to see what was submitted. But there's nothing really submitted here, so I can just say, where is your sub? So this is how we communicate with the students. So because they can just click turn it in, but there's nothing really. So you can just talk to them here, and it's a good way of communicating. It's a private comment anyway. And now we can see the projects they're interested in. Oh, nice. There are 6 people who turned in their assignments. We can action research, AI applications, research, and qualitative. So this is how the teacher would see the submissions of the students, and you can give them a grade. I will give 100, 100, 105. Because Myla Myla is fake. And then I will return it to the students. So you will see on your side that I have already given you grades. And you can also add comments like great job. There. So that's those are the basic features of Google Classroom. I think the things that we do in our classes can be imported here. And as for us in from using Moodle to Google Classroom, I tried it to just compare which one is better. Google Classroom is much more easier to use, I think, and it has the app, and the app is nicer. It's like a social networking application. However, Moodle is very sophisticated in terms of features. Like it has more advanced features for distance education, like workshops, collaboration. So for more advanced features, I would still recommend Moodle. But for general classroom management, I think Google Classroom is a good option, especially right now. Since most of us have Gmail or Google accounts, and we can use it freely. Uh, yeah, so I think that's it for Google Classroom. And another thing, before I forget, that's good about Google, so let's thank Google, is that it has this Google Hangouts Meet. So for everyone who has a Google Education account, you can set up video meetings or like hangouts with many people involved there. So if you want to hold your classes synchronously, you can try this out. Maybe we'll have a demonstration of this. Maybe we'll have a demonstration of the Hangouts Meet next week, but you can look into it right now. So, again, before I end my talk, I will just show you the class code so you can explore. This is it. There. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening. I hope it was helpful.